disappear. Love is all we hold dear. And when moments fade away, remember that memories are what we hold dear to our hearts. So I say to you this morning, what kind of memories are you holding dear to your heart? Are they pleasant memories or unpleasant? If they are unpleasant, I will advise you trash them. But if they are pleasant, hold them dear. A very good morning to you. Welcome to Good Morning Abuja on NTH Channel 5, the Unity Station. I am your host, Cynthia Upene. Today we have lots for you. I'm excited because I have all my guests are just women. You know what? We rule the world. Now let's kick off with this motivational by Olushola, and he's saying to us, money tips. He wants to talk to us about money. Let's hear from him. We'll be right back.
In the next 90 seconds, I want to tell you 4 truths about money that changed my life. The 4th one is the most important. Number 1. Money will only flow in the direction of value. One of the funny paradoxes about life is that the more you chase after money, the more it eludes you. Wealthy people don't go after money, they instead improve their value, and consequently money goes after them, because every time you see value, you see money accompanying it. So instead of fantasizing about money every day, it might be time to improve your skill set and upgrade your value proposition. You must be selling something valuable, either a good or a service that people can pay for, because money falls on the laps of no man. Number 2, money is a tool and you must treat it as such. You should control it and not let it control you. You are to own money and never let it own you. To build sustainable and legitimate wealth, you must first and foremost learn to live above money and learn to cleanse yourself of any insane desire to make it. A friend of mine puts it this way: to have more money, you must first learn to lose your grip on it. More money flows in the direction of someone who is not scared to lose it. So you must stay sane in your pursuit for more money. Number 3, managing money is as important as making money. Financial literacy and proper money management can turn a stream into an ocean by transforming small and molding it into plenty. Which means that the degree to which you know and practice proper savings and investment will determine a lot. And finally, number 4, there are things money can buy and there are things money cannot buy. The sooner you understand the difference between both, the earlier it saves your life. You must never get to a point where you jeopardize what money cannot buy in pursuit of more money. Relationships, faith, fulfillment, and peace are some of the things that no currency can truly buy, and you must never sacrifice them on the platter of more money.
Amazing. Did you hear that those who chase after money, what happens? Money runs away from them. Say money cannot just fall on your lap like that. You must have services or something that you are selling or giving out for you to make money. Thank you so much, Mr. Olushola. Now it's time for us to take our exercise. Are you ready to burn off the calories? Let's go there.
Let's go! Come on! Let's go! I love it. Sonia, that's what I'm talking about. Go! 5, 4, good job. 3, 2, 1, go! Welcome guys to our Tabata workout class. This session is designed to give you a full cardio and strength workout while bumping to some of our favorite Tabata songs. My name is Udwaki Kara and I'll be your trainer for today. Let's go! Alright, so we're going to start with a warm-up circuit using him for the weekend. Alright? Side lunges in 1, 2, up, 1, 2. Ready? 5, 4. This way. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2. Take it up, down. 2. Take it up, down. That's it. Up, down. Well done, guys. 1, 2, 1, 2. In 5, in 4, in 3, 2. Next one is 1, 2, up. Hamstring stretch. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Good job. That's it. Make sure you arch your back. 1, 2. 1, 2. Well done. 1, 2. 1, 2. Nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2. Toe touches. 1, 2. We're just getting warmed up. Ready? In 5. Left leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Left, right. Good job. Left, right, left, right, left, and right. Good job. Go 1, and 2. 1 and 2. In 5, in 4, in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go.
That was our general body exercise. Now let's go on our first break on the show. Stay tuned.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
With the peace and blessings of Allah be upon each and every one of us. It's another fantastic Friday evening, and you're welcome to NTA Channel 5 Abuja.
First of all, you train yourself, you educate yourself, then you educate your family, and then the community at large.
Fundamentals of Islam Live, showing 7:30 p.m. every Friday on NTA Channel 5 Abuja, the Unity Station. Join us.
Welcome back. It's good to know that you are still there. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Now we have a motivational speaker in the house. You know, normally we bring you motivational speeches or messages, but this time we decided to pull in someone who is a motivational speaker in the house. Okay, she is Agogo Abimbola Omonegwe. Okay, she's going to talk to us about instilling values and discipline in an era of changing social norms. Please join me as I welcome. Oh, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
You are looking, how will I say, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Fine. So, as a motivational speaker, I know that because you motivate people, you also remain motivated. Is that not so?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm constantly keeping myself motivated.
Wow. So, let's talk about this journey.
Yeah.
Motivation. How did you come into motivating people? Is there a story behind it?
I'll say that there is. For a certain part of my life, I was the only child in the house. And out of 4 children, for some reason, I think I'm the one who spent the most time at home.
Okay.
Alone with maybe either of my parents at certain times in my life, or more especially my mother. And she will have not just Christian books, but also inspirational books, that were authored by motivational speakers. And because of the passion I had for reading, I would find myself reading those books in my quiet time. And that formed a habit for me. So for every time I wasn't doing anything, even if I was going on a road trip, I would pick up a book to read. And I always found it within me to like to make people feel better.
Wow.
Yes. So a part of me is a person, or let's say people manager.
Okay.
So I love to manage people. Okay. So that kind of helps, because in managing people you have to be cognizant of their moods, their emotions, everything happening around them. Okay. So I will not be able to make you feel happy, but somehow I can instill some form of hope. Exactly. In you that everything will be all right eventually.
Now, from your own point of view, how do you think this social changing social norms, this changes in social has affected parents instilling values in their children?
Greatly, I think it has greatly affected parents, because we don't live in the same era our parents lived in. So we find that we can't even raise our children the same way our parents raised us. Of particular mention, I remember that my parents it was a case of what applies to one applies to all. Okay. There was no singling out one person to say, oh, this child is like this, that child is, the first child is different from. What applied to one person was what applied to everybody. The same measure of punishment, the same measure of, when I say punishment,
there was no favorite child and all that.
There were, but not as regards the area of instilling values. So that's the thing. And as much as instilling values should be a family thing, I also understand that in these times you need to know each child individually and understand their temperaments. That is what will help you raise children these days. The values will apply to all the children, but the way it's being applied has to be on a child-to-child basis. So that's just the difference. We live in different times now. We are in an information technology age, And that has changed a whole lot of things. Children are more exposed now to social media. So as a parent, you have to think of techniques. So I don't want to call it monitor their exposure to social media because we really can't, but their exposure, supervise their exposure to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also cap it up with prayers. There is nothing God cannot do. In these times, as human beings, we can't even do everything, on our own. It can get overwhelming that we just have to switch to the supernatural.
Okay, there is this saying that every child is your child. We're talking about the days of old, where a child misbehaves. Another mother can just, say, why did you do this? And then the child goes home to tell the mother, and mother says, I hope the person how many strokes? You say, no, she should have given you 4. But these days, touch somebody's child.
We don't hear it from the mother.
So how did we get to this point?
I think, just like I said, the times just changed. The only permanent thing in life is change, and which is the reason why children just have to be able to adapt to whatever is going on that has to do with change in the society around them. But I would say it's because the times have changed, and understandably so. The world has moved on from what it used to be, and because of that, we have different things now being what is the norm. So we can't. In the past, you will have children. Even if you tell your child to kneel down now as a disciplinary measure, or you try to use "pangere" in quotes, do you know that I have one of my children? They used to tell me back then. I think she was about 4 or 5. She would say, "He's not paining me." So what would you do as
I'm laughing. I remember that child that told the mom, "Mommy, be calming down."
Yes, mommy, calm down. Even in his crying state,
he was saying,
"Mommy, calm down. Mommy, calm down."
Take care. It's okay. The beating is okay. Be calming.
My God.
But those days, how dare you tell your parents to be calming down?
Now, if you even wink at your child, you're trying to cut eye for your child to say, "Don't do that thing." The child can walk up to you and say, "Mommy, are you okay? Is there something in your eye?" I know it's appalling, but I think they're just getting used to it now, trying to find other ways to instill discipline in them, and then to instill the values as well.
Now, I want us to, as someone who you motivate people, and you are advocating for that values, you must instill values. So, what are some of these values that you could remember growing up, that you feel that right now is as if we're just throwing them away?
I want to start from time management because I don't know why, but it's a 21st century skill. But I think that as long as you live with people, as long as there is more than one child, because you're raising all of them together, there is a need for the children to be able to understand that time management is very important. Growing up, we just knew that you cannot be late. And that's because your parents will either shout at you or give you some form of punishment if for any reason you are delaying when it comes to something to be done, either in the home or maybe you're supposed to go out and all. So in the past, I would say I grew up automatically. I would say I wasn't even taught. Automatically, I just knew that you can't waste mommy's time. You can't waste the time of the family when you're supposed to do this. When you're supposed to go, there was just that discipline being instilled. We don't find much of, back in the day, we didn't know what empathy was. I think they just used to use the scripture of what you don't want others to do to you, don't do it to your hand, which is now termed as, empathy. But I would say self-control. I would say discipline. I would say, I would now move into what I call, they're not really soft skills. They're things that every day one should have. Love, concern for others, patience. Patience back in the day, you just needed to be patient. So I don't know why, for some reason, I just remember that we were not taught
about being selfless. Should I say not being selfish?
Yes, being selfless. That one, I think our parents beat it into us that you have to. Yes. Because you have more than one child in the house, and your parents are trying to equally distribute everything to the children. Or you're there trying to, raise your shoulders and say this and say that. Your parents are like, no, you have to put your head down, calm, and be humble about it, and understand that you're in a family and everyone should be treated the same.
Okay, let's talk about the role of social media. We know social media has a lot of advantage.
Yeah.
but it has also, should I use the word disadvantage? Because it has affected a lot. So let's look at the rise of and the role of social media.
Okay, so the truth is, it has its pros and cons. There is the good side and there is the bad side. I think it was the real social media infiltration to the society started, from my understanding, during the lockdown. That was 2021. So it was coming, it was building over time, but the lockdown made it in some way necessary for some form of exposure, especially for children. I recall at that time my children barely knew what a laptop was, talking of phones and iPads. But the exposure today, the way they navigate the laptop now, it's amazing. So it's something that came into being at that time, and it's playing a huge role in the way we raise our children today. The key reason being that the children are exposed to everything online, even when there are parental controls in place. You have ads, advertisements scrolling across the screen of your child's program. Sometimes it's not even suitable. So I wonder how, the people at the helm of affairs in the ICT or whatever, app, how they put things like that out. Sometimes it's Google, sometimes it's Kiddo, sometimes it's YouTube, sometimes it's YouTube for kids. They have that exposure. So you have to be able to train your child to understand that. There are all these things out there. So we can't even keep things, we shouldn't even keep things like that exposure from the children. From as little as 3-4 years old, we need to let them know that there are these things out there. So that when they see them, not just when they are there. Sometimes your child goes to a salon and they are like, so that the child doesn't, is not crying so much, they give the child, their phone. So an adult has given the child that phone. If the child is well raised and has been instilled with values that help the child know that some things are not to be viewed, when the child sees something like that, for instance, the child can scold first. But a so-called ignorant child, I'm saying so-called because if the child doesn't know, the child may just indulge and watch. Exactly.
As a motivator, what would you say to someone who is watching you and, should I say someone who feels that we have lost it in terms of our values and our children and all that? So what would you say? The final words.
I would say it's never too late, and that it's very important that children learn these things from the house. It's not too late. Maybe your child is all grown. Have conversations with them. So I discovered that in these times it's very important to have conversations with children. And I'm talking of sit the child down, avoid every other distraction, and have honest conversations. Constant conversations with them. You will get them to open up. And it's in their opening up that you can instill values into them. That will make them the better for it in the society tomorrow. It's never too late.
Wow.
It's never too late.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, it's never too late. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And please, any opportunity you have to help to instill values so that we don't just allow it to just go like that. We must make sure, because it will bounce back to everyone.
It will.
If you don't instill values in your children and I just look at them and ignore them, it will bounce back to the society, and I'm part of the society.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we've been talking about instilling values in our children, especially in this changing social norms, this era of changing social norms. So please make sure, don't just spare the rod and spoil your child. Don't do that. And I remember the era of respect. Please, we need to. Should I use the word hammer it on our children? It's been Good Morning Abuja. Please don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
As for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to your weekly guide, Light of Islam. I am Aisha Ahmed.
As Muslims, we know that in Islam, time is a very good and important commodity that we have.
Believe in the angels of God as one of the 6 articles of faith.
Dhamma is a form rules, and how the rules are made is such that the Imam stands in front and then right behind him.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Light of Islam. Keep watching Light of Islam.
That is for zakah, to cure our greed, when we give our money to those in need.
welcome you on today's ride on the show Good Morning Abuja.
This is Window on Abuja. We have everything it takes to compete with any nation all across the world.
How do we make it? We are not able to produce. I've been contributing to the development of your kingdom.
Hello and welcome to Young Hearts.
Our focus today will be on hepatitis B.
Ladylike!
This is Entertainment Gist.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5 Community Station. This time we want to talk about something that concerns us women. That's what I'm saying. Reducing food waste in the kitchen. How do you measure your food? I will have a chef in the house in the person of Yamulu Mercy Aluko. Hello.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning to you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Yes.
you know I'm laughing. You know that you're a woman when you talk about reducing food waste in our kitchen. So how do we do it? How do you think we can reduce food waste in our kitchen now? Is it by measuring the cup or whatever?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, ma'am, for having me. Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind when I hear about reducing food wastage in the kitchen is we should have measurements. Okay, I remember growing up. There's this cup that we have inside all our food in the house.
Would it be? Yes.
We have this
measurement cup.
Yes, that time my mom used to use this milk tin. They would have removed the cover.
Yeah.
So they would just. If we have 4 in the house, we would cook 5 cups. So it means 1 person to 1 cup. Then, in case of extra person that will come and visit us, so that they can have something to eat, so we have extra 1 cup.
That reminds me of what someone said about teachers. I'm sorry, all the teachers. The teachers always have tape. They used to measure their yam. So that if they have 4 people in the house, they already know where the tape will stop. And I begin to wonder. The person said, you don't know that 1 tape, there's a measurement for a slice, and that's how they measure it.
Wow.
So I think from what you're talking about measurement, it also goes to I grew up in a place where when we want to, you want to boil yam for 5 people, you know that 5 pieces of yam goes to 1 person. So you count 5 times 5, and you add extra 2 or 3 to make sure that you don't have extras. Okay, in case we have extra, we have this leftover. What do we do with it?
Yeah, we store the leftover properly. So for instance, let's make use of rice. When you have leftover rice, just put in the airtight container and you refrigerate it. So after refrigerating it, you can use it as lunch for the next day.
Okay.
Or if you cannot use it as lunch for the next day, just make sure that it doesn't stay in the fridge for too long.
Okay.
That's what I bring as a FIFO. That's first in, first out.
Okay.
So whatever
that's the slogan for it.
Yes.
First in, first out.
Yes, that's FIFO. So whatever goes into your fridge first should come out first.
Okay.
So for instance, let's say I cook rice today and I have leftover from my rice.
Okay.
Then the following day I cook of let's say yam. So the day after that, I shouldn't bring out the yam and eat. I should first bring out the rice that was inside the fridge first.
Okay.
So that I can clear that one, then I can eat the yam later on.
Okay. As a chef, what do you put into consideration when you're preparing a meal for people? What I'm saying is, for instance, you have maybe somebody who is sick, or somebody who is aged, or somebody, did you consider all those? What are things you consider before you prepare a meal for?
Professionally. The first thing I consider is the health benefit of any meal that I'm preparing.
Okay.
So in that case, first I source for the best quality products. This time around, yes, things are very expensive, we all know, but even with that, I go for the best of the best so that all my clients eat good food and they stay healthy.
Okay.
Then I also look out for
things that are of high cholesterol. As we know that people that are of age and people that are maybe all those diabetes people now, there are some things that they cannot eat. For instance, if I'm cooking for a diabetes patient, I will use basmati rice. Basmati rice is highly recommended for people that have diabetes. And while I'm cooking that for them, I will not add salt to the rice for them.
Okay, but if they cannot, if you cannot afford to use basmati rice and you use ordinary rice, that means you will not put salt too.
Yes, if I'm using ordinary rice too, I will not put salt. I will not add salt to it. Then I will wash it and parboil it in such a way that the starch would have gone out of the rice. Because the reason why basmati rice is highly recommended for diabetes patients is because it has low starch in it.
Okay.
Yes, it's a very good rice and it doesn't have sugar in it as well.
Okay.
Then another thing you can consider is adding vegetables to their food. In fact, vegetable in food is not only meant for aged people or people with any health condition. Everybody should eat vegetables. What I'm talking about things like carrots, like cucumber, like cabbage, like lettuce, all these things. They add to your food. One, they reduce the quantity of food that you eat per portion.
Okay, the carbohydrates.
Yes, imagine you are eating a portion of rice now and you have a lot of salad beside it. You get filled up easily and you will not consume more of that rice.
Okay, now we've talked about having a measuring cup for you to. What other ways do you think we can avoid wastage in our kitchen?
Then we should prevent impulse buying. There are some women that they will leave the house with their list of what they need in their kitchen. But by the time they get to the market, for instance, and they are now seeing somebody that is doing sales, like maybe someone that is selling pomona is not telling you that this pomona is 500 naira, but if you buy 3, I'm going to give you 3 for 1,000 naira. And honestly, yes, and honestly, you know that you don't have any need for this pomona. You could have just walked past it, but because of it's cheap and it's calling is attractive, you just buy it. So we should avoid impulse buying, and also we should plan our week properly. Like every weekend, almost everybody is at home during the weekend. You go into your kitchen and look at the things that you need in your kitchen, and look at the ones that you have in your kitchen. See if what you have in your kitchen can last you for the whole week. Then manage them. Things like Irish potato does not have a very high it doesn't have a longer lifespan. When Irish potato is not properly stored and is open, like is in a very congested area, it should get spoiled easily. So things like that, you can just make sure that you don't have them in excess. Then you also calculate what you buy as well. So in that thing, like for instance now beans, some beans, if you don't store them very well, weevils can enter inside and you will not be able to use them again. So when you are buying things like beans now, you just want to buy a very little quantity so that you can just finish with it. Something you can finish within 2 weeks, maximum 1 week, 1 month rather. So that you can go to the market and buy again when you are in need of it.
I want you to, as a professional when it comes to food, what advice? A lot of people believe, some people believe that let me just fill my tummy. They don't care. Morning, afternoon, night, anything goes so long as
they're filled up.
So, what advice would you give to some people as we ramble?
Okay, I will advise everyone out there watching me right now to eat healthy. I remember when we were small, they taught us about the classes of food and how we are supposed to eat a balanced diet all the time. Drink water always. When you drink water always, it reduces the quantity of food that you eat per time because water is quite filling. And at the same time, eat fruits, inculcate food in your daily meal. Even if you cannot eat 3 times a day, you cannot eat food 3 times a day. Ensure you eat food at least a day, once a day. Eat food. Then also make it an habit to eat vegetables. They are very good. They are very nutritious, and they are really, really affordable. Honestly, you can meet any man out there, buy carrots of 12 naira, and you don't know what that will do to your health. Please ensure to eat healthy, avoid too much oil in your food, avoid eating food that has high cholesterol, and avoid too much sugar in your food.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much. Yes, we've been talking about reducing wastage in our kitchen. You heard from her, and also she has told us how to eat healthy foods. Fruits are in season. Whatever fruits that you can afford, make sure you eat and make sure you eat balanced diet. That's what she's saying to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we've been speaking with Yanoluwa Mercy Aluko. She's a chef, and she just told you professionally how to make sure you manage. Have a measuring cup. She has said this small measuring cup. And remember that you can also count your pieces of yam, plantain that you fry to make sure. And she said to us there are some food that when they are leftover food that, like vegetables, you need to eat them fresh. There are some you need to store in the fridge. She said something. The ones you have stored in the fridge, eat them first before the other one you're bringing the new one. All right, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Lord, I want to seek your face every day of my life, and I've come to worship you. Take your place, I'm yours, oh Lord, every day and forever. It's yours, oh Lord, it's yours, oh Lord, every day and forever. It's yours, oh Lord, it's yours, oh Lord. Take your place, take your place, take your place. It's yours, oh Lord. Take your place, take your place, take your place. I'm yours, oh Lord.
That was It's Yours by BMI. I hope you enjoyed that music. And guess what? We have her right here in our studio. Please join me as I welcome BMI. Hello. I like that. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. BMI. Bumi.
Yes.
Bumi Solomon. Solomon. Okay, so what is B?
BMI means Bumi Music International.
Wow, so you've even gone international.
Yes, I have.
Beautiful. So we just saw It's Yours.
Yeah.
What's the motivation behind It's Yours?
Well, the song it's more like a love song, singing to God, expressing how I feel. There have been times where we go through one or two things and you just still trace your step back to God because He's a constant. He's always there to guide us to the right path, always there, a shoulder we can lean on. So I just dedicated that song to God. No matter what I'm going through, I know I have a constant, which is God.
Okay, you are a gospel artist.
Yes, I am.
And we've had a lot of musicians that will come. They are now on the other side. And when you ask them, they will say, "We started from the church, and from the church we moved." But I noticed that you have not moved.
No, I haven't moved.
So how did you start and remain where you are?
Well, for me, music is more like a lifestyle. It's not that I just dabbled into it. I've been singing since when I was like 6 years old. Professionally, I'm about 20 years in music.
Wow.
And still maintaining gospel. Wow. Now, this is, to me, is a passion, is a calling, is a gift. I told somebody, I studied mass comm. Yeah, I told somebody that going to school is secondary to me because I already know what I want, which is singing. But I just had to do it because, I'm from a Yoruba family and you know how we take education very seriously. Yeah, so it's not like I'm trying to find what I want to do. I already know what I was called to do.
So it was like inborn.
Inborn, yeah. So ever since I've been much younger, I've always loved music and I've evolved, I've grown over the years. You know, you will go through certain things that will make you almost want to give up, but I just discovered that music, that is just, I don't had offers to go into secular, a very big amount of money. But you don't expect me to go and be singing worship song in the club. How is it going to work? How is it going to blend? So it's like a contrasting personality. You understand? So that's why I think, and then I've had good people, my parents, my siblings, they've always been supportive, my husband, they've always encouraged me to pursue music.
Okay, being in this industry,
yeah,
how palatable has it been?
It has not been that palatable. It's just the determination. You meet obstacles. Just imagine you being invited to sing somewhere. You go with your crew, and then after everything, don't worry, we send this, and at the end of the day, you get nothing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Or driving for, let's just assume it's in the same city. You drive for a far distance. You barely were able to get fuel to go, and you got there, and all those things. So those are some of the factors. Those are some of the things that make some gospel artists switch to secular. Not because they don't really want to, but some of them, that is their primary.
Because on the other side, before you move,
you already concluded everything.
They conclude everything.
Gospel,
but why don't we have that?
We do. We have in gospel also, but it's just now me. I'm even trying to get a manager. The major reason why most of us don't really go for being under a label or having a manager is because at times some of the terms and conditions are not that clear. It's at the long run, you now discover this person is actually trying to rip me off, this person is trying to cheat me, this person. So I'm considering it, and I'm even considering my family member to be my manager.
Okay.
Because anyhow, it's still in the family. Okay. You understand? Yeah, so and I'm also trying to see as time goes on to get a record label so I can set some things straight. Some experiences I've had over the years of ripping off, being deceived and all of that. Some of these young gospel artists, we can guide them right, get them to the right platforms, and have them just express themselves, and they'll have a good life because nobody's stripping for how to cheat them. And these are some of the reasons that make people switch to secular. Secular is secular, business is business.
Honestly.
Some of them, if you don't pay them, they will wipe water on your head. So you say you go cooperate. I'm just trying to tell you how extreme some can go. So nobody wants to mess with them. That's just it.
How do you think the government can tap into this creativity, this, what we are doing? How do you think? Because it will, if the government can tap into it,
yes, that is one major area where the government is missing out. You see, if the government can invest in talents, Nigerians, you see, Nigeria will be one of the greatest nations.
Because abroad, they are the best doctors
in the world.
Best surgeons, best this, best that.
We have this mindset that anything that is worth doing is worth doing. That is one plus to us as Nigerians. I want to call on the government, invest in young talents, music ministers, music artists, directors, producers, film producers, dancers, makeup artists. These are some of the things. Just imagine now, some of these people that they are saying they are criminals, they are stealing up and down. If they are properly channel their energies to something productive, do you think they will do that? We are channeling our energy on the wrong things. The youth of every nation is a plus, and we have so many youths in Nigeria. Across the social media, do you see the way people are using skits and other things to make money? Because nobody supported them, they have to force themselves to be creative and to push. Now imagine if there is a platform, a support system for every, I am a creative, I love to dance. Now the government sponsor this, and they say, okay, this is the condition. As we are sponsoring you, you have to raise 10 or 100 people from this platform. It's a win-win for everybody. Honestly. There is a talent hunt I started. I had to stop because the money is called Kaduna Gospel Talent Hunt. I was in Kaduna then, but I'm in Abuja. I've not really been able to start it here because it's capital intensive. I get young talents, dancers, singers, and they win a particular prize of money, and it's been awesome. But like we said, no funding, no support.
We want to hear you do what you know how to do best.
Okay.
So let's hear you sing for us.
Okay, let me just sing a popular song so that everyone can sing. Or should I sing my song?
You can sing your song anyone that you're comfortable with.
Okay, let me just do one of my songs. I was walking down the street one day when I heard my name. Heard a voice inside of me telling me it will be alright. Everything is gonna be alright, no matter what you're going through. Everything is gonna be alright. I know that for sure. Baba, you too much for me. Baba, you too much for me. Hey. Baba, you too much. You too much. You too much for me. Jesus, you too much. You too much. You too much for me.
Wow. I'm clapping here. Please help me to start. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I picked something from what you said. Everything is going to be all right. And that's what I say to all of you watching, whatever you're going through, BMI and myself and everyone here is saying to you,
everything is going to be all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for blessing us.
me.
Thank you for gracing our studio. And thank you for the wonderful message. Wonderful message. I tell you, the sky will be your starting point. You've not even gone anywhere. You see the international that you have at the back of the head.
Amen.
Yes, and I'm saying to you, everything. It doesn't matter. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed or you woke up on the right side. Don't worry. Everything is going to be all right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I welcome you on today's ride on the show Good Morning Abuja.
This is Window on Abuja. We have everything it takes to compete with any nation all across the world.
How do we make it? We are not ready to produce. We have been contributing to the development of your kingdom.
Hello and welcome to Young Hearts. Our focus today will be on hepatitis B. Ladylike!
This is Entertainment Gist.
Be wearing of Allah, and Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah.
As Muslims, we know that in Islam, time is a very good